one of the most delightful daffodils in my circle of friends. His name is Zero Mostel. You like that, huh? Well, here he is, so let's have a very big welcome for Zero Mostel.
Thank you very kindly. Thank you, Charles Dickens, for your fine introduction. Are you ready for a cultural evening? I'd like to do a very educational number for you first. My impression of a man whose name is Professor Hogarth Remorse, who is a bird lover, an ornithologist. And he comes before the Royal Ornithological Society of Great Britain once every 25 years, and he delivers of himself of a lecture, which I'm sure will interest all you good people. It's called Whither Birds. Colleagues of the Royal Academy of Ornithology, before I go into my main thesis proper of Whither Birds, might I say how overwhelmed I am to address so august and distinguished a body. As a matter of fact, I'm glad to address anybody. And before I go into the subject at hand of Whither Birds, I may take exception to the previous speaker, Professor Block, who said that the Gehackte seine Flutenhackgeschleutes alten Utenbird of out New Zealand, if you's a call while mating, birds make, you know. I've noted this. Or the man I love. That is a canard. That is an untrue. I have spent some 25 years perched behind this rock in New Zealand, watching this most peculiar of birds. And once in particular, I noticed the great male of the species flying gracefully through the air thus. Suddenly the great male looked down and noticed for the first time the female of the species. Making a huge sweep, the great male lighted at the feet of the female, the while rubbing his beak together with hers, driving the female agog, and issuing a call to note the difference of thus. Let me alone! And now to my main thesis proper of Whither Birds. What are we going to do with them? They ain't got no home. They ain't got no body. What are we going to do with them? I have interviewed countless of our fellow friends, and to a bird they have all agreed that the most practical and conclusion to this problem would be that birds, all birds, must at all times fly together, they must beat together, they must flock together, and above all at all times they must together. And now I'd like to do for my impression of Queen Victoria. Very popular in England. And now I'd like to do for a most non-realistic impression, but it does bear the seal of the Good Housekeeping magazine. My impression of the great poet, philosopher, educator, and lover, Mr. James Durant E. Flatt. I will be assisted by Ray Block and his Hussars. So I goes into this dentist's office, and there's a guy sitting in the chair. And I noticed that one side of his mouth is perfect, but on the other side I noticed that he's got one tooth, half tooth, no tooth, the whole tooth, one tooth, half tooth, no tooth, half tooth, one tooth, half tooth, no tooth, the whole tooth, one tooth. So I goes up to him and I says, I don't understand. One side of your mouth is perfect, but on the other side, I noticed that you got one tooth, a half tooth, no tooth, whole tooth, one tooth, half tooth, no tooth, the whole tooth, one tooth, half tooth, no tooth, the whole tooth, one tooth. So he said to me, it is true, Umbriago, that one side of my mouth is perfect, but that on the other side I've got one tooth, half tooth, no tooth, whole tooth, one tooth, half tooth, no tooth, the whole tooth, one tooth, half two, milk tooth, the whole tooth, one tooth, cavity, and one tooth to have. So he said to me, why do I need both sides of my mouth perfect when I speak out of one side of my mouth? And they starts to strut the way. It's a fadeaway, it's a twist. Here I am again, what's here? Don't raise the bridge, boys. Lower the river. So this man is beating the child over the head. And I goes over to him and I says, stop beating that child. And he said to me, I beat him because I want him. It was logical. So I said to him, how can you beat a child that small? And he said to me, because he bothers me. I said, how can a child that small bother you? And he said to me, you see, mister, I'm an undertaker and the kid bothers me. All the time he asks me for empty boxes. And he starts to strut away. It's a fadeaway, it's a twist. Here I am. I said yes. She said no. I said yes. She said no. I said yes. She said yes. A flexible mind. So I said to this young lady, meet me 20 minutes in Hayden's Planetarium and bring loads of rye bread. When she sticks around for some 20 months, when in walks her husband, a stargazer, unannounced. Naturally, I'm a disappointed boy. So puts on my top hat, my white tie, and my tails. And they starts to strut away. It's a fadeaway. So these two cockroaches are speaking to each other. And one says to the other, I just come from a kitchen that's so disinfected, sanitary, and clean. And the other one said, please, not while I'm eating. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me, listen to me. In the days of vaudeville and vaudeville, I was walking along the Rue de la Poo. Heard this pretty melody and I'm singing.